Wednesday night, if you're hearing my voice, you know what that means. It is Cup Racing, custom style preset here at Chicago, Season 5, Giggity Racing. KTatty's going to be up here in the booth helping me with the preset. Coco Money Mike, guys, is trying something new for us tonight to help us out. He's going to put it on Facebook and try to get us some more views. So everybody hit that button, share, see if we can get any more likes and subscribes and everything out there. So we do appreciate what you're trying to do tonight, Money Mike. He is in the booth. You will not be able to hear him, though. Qualifying just ended. Tatty, we were just talking about it. Chicago, fun track, but if you get too racy with one person, the lead car can just straight pull away from you. So you guys have to keep you'll have to be able to keep in touch with them.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the draft here is ridiculously strong. I know how slow you're around, but at the same time, this can be the same. If you're battling hard for second, if you feel the guy in front of you holding you up, then well, that leadership is going to be able to walk away. I've seen it happen on a lot of different teams. People are going to really have to watch themselves and try not to be too racy. You know, I'm hoping that they put on a good show and there is some great side-by-side action. Again, a little bit too racy, and it can cost you in the long run.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys too, they've got to be careful. Points are a big deal. We are going to end up, going into the chase in the playoffs here shortly. So, you got to have a good finish, keep those points going up. Just Monday night, there's another group of guys I race in. Guy missed a point. He missed making the playoff by 1 point simply because of one position. Of all things, ideally, it was his brother. So every position is going to count tonight for these guys also.
You're going to cut your back up. We're going to blue screen here for just a second, guys. We'll be returning with the action.
Oh, Jake's going to start again. He needs a good finish too. He's had some good finishes, but not some great ones. A couple wins at the same time for him this year, but these preset guys, some of the toughest out there, are giving him a run for his money. We are jumping into the race right now. Again, thank you, Money Mike, for what you're doing to try to get everything out there and help work this out.
We're trying something a little new. We'll see how well this goes. Got Paul Bear out there, Master Light, Blake Tuggle. Blakey, you should be racing. Nuke Bob out here. He's tuned in. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And we're off. Green flag action. Jake Drew leads the field down into turn 1. Country Caliber on the outside. Blake ET and the 19 is Flirt with Zachar, the top 4, followed by, trying to see the 4 car. That would be Duck Humor, Quack Quack. Top 5 on the backtrack here in lap 1 at the Chicago Deep Fish Pizza 100, I think you named it.
Yep, I don't know. I had to come up with something good. I don't know. I'm not saying it was good, but I had to come up with something. These guys now coming down there. There's Quack right there. And got the 21 pushing about Private Patent. Country Caliber in the 11 car raced with him last night. He said he was excited for one of these tracks. The 18 gets the 21, a big old shove. 21's all over the prize, trying to hold on to it. Draft is in here. This is what we were talking about.
Little concern here, per usual. There was an update to the game. Whenever an update comes out, you always have to question how the lobbies are going to be. And right now, it looks like it's pretty good. The only car I'm seeing any issues with is the 21 Menards car. That's Private Patent. He's actually second in points, so hopefully that nothing happens to his internet connection. He's able to finish this race out as he's trying to chase down the 24 on the track and in the point standing as they're sitting 3rd and 4th here, respectively, on the speedway.
That 34 is looking real good up front, but the 24 is on the outside of the 4. Mustang, Camaro Crime is the Private Patents. We're trying to bring another Mustang into that too. Single file going into 3 and 4. Everybody trying to utilize that draft. Keep the cars in front of it. If the car wiggles in front of you, some people think you got to follow it. Well, actually, you're scrubbing speed by turning. Just wait till they get back in line. Private Patent is on my screen looking like he might have a little bit of a lag issue. He just straight dirt tracked into one as the 18 in that pink M&M's car is making a move to the inside. Blake Tuck on that 34 right there, still coming down the straightaway. Everybody in one big group still.
I think that car's purple. That doesn't look pink to me.
You know, pink.
Anyways, so to our viewers out here, since we're doing something a little bit different, and this is actually on Facebook Live as well, maybe you guys don't know how we do things around here, but we have the preset race going on right now. This is 11 drivers in the preset. None of these guys will be in the second race, which would be our Custom Cup Series. that'll be coming on about 5 to 10 minutes after the end result here in the presets. But definitely, I'm keeping my eyes on the 24 and the 21 here in this race. Even with the lag issue, they are first and second in the points. So that's a good battle to watch. Blakey T has been eliminated from the playoffs as he is ineligible to make the minimum race requirements, but he is up here leading the race, trying to get his owner, putting himself some more points in the Owners' Championship in that 34 car. Blakey T in first place.
Yeah, last week at Michigan, all the KMS cars, man, they did real good. Tonight we are missing Big Jim. You will not see him out there. He had previous obligations. Crab Leg is the other one that's out there too, Lou. But again, these guys now starting to go just a little bit single file breakaway pack. And I think in my eyes, seeing what I've seen right there, the 21 of Private Patton, I think it's cleared up just a little bit, but they're too wide behind them. Blake's still going to lead this as they come down the straightaway. Nope, never mind. I commentated, you cursed him. He's lagging again.
I know that some of the stuff that's happening here, like in the custom, and I got a couple drivers that contact me today. Now, obviously, this is a video game. This is not real life racing, and so internet connection is very important with these. Well, there's kind of like a snow blizzard going throughout the country right now, and that snow blizzard is wreaking havoc with these drivers' internet connection. So I'm thinking that's what's going on with the 21. Is it's not a whole lobby issue. It's mostly just him, but definitely hope it corrects here by the end of the race and he has an opportunity to get the W here tonight.
Yeah, one thing I do like about being on the West Coast, even though it is chilly, we don't have to deal with that white thing you just talked about, snow out there. Nuka, we just said he's out there, and he's a main in a blizzard. Absolutely do not miss that. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see Nuka racing just a little bit too. Private Patton right here sitting in that fifth spot. It looks like he's falling back. The pink car that I was talking about, or purple, depending upon what you want, that is H-Route. He's sitting there single file and Quack for Humor right behind him.
Yeah, I know up there in the front, and Blakey T, he hadn't made all the races like we spoke about, but I know his crew chief, Hot Dog Charlie, he was out there doing some interviews today with me, and he spoke about how strong the KMS cars seem to be here at Chicago. So Hot Dog Charlie is looking forward to a podium finish out of Blakey T here tonight.
And here's that 24, Big Dane. Have had the opportunity to hang out with him in the last weekend race. He's been feeling pretty confident too. Moves that 20 Toyota up into the third spot. Fourth spot is H-Route. Now they are trying to do a 4-car breakaway. But yeah, Blakey T, if he wouldn't have gotten parked, plus at the same time, he has been working a lot, so like you said, he's here just for fun and owners' points as to be a spoiler. Jake, on the other hand, he is locked into the championship. But these guys, once you get to race so much, you know how to race each other. So these guys are definitely showing that. And look who is already out there, the Hunty man himself, the big old dumpsters we know him as Hunty.
Yeah, something else really huge to mention here. We only have 11 drivers in the field. This series started at about 22. Drivers in the series. Naturally, as people start being ineligible for playoffs, they kind of just decide not to run anymore. So we're down to about 11 right now. Tonight, we have some other drivers that just couldn't make it between the blizzard, the internet connection, and or they're at work. Well, anyways, we have drivers like the 20 and the drivers in the 8, which is Pro 75. We haven't spoke to him. They're trying to make their way into the playoffs as they joined Lake. So they're on the outside looking in right now. And without a victory, they have to make it into the top 10 in points in order to lock themselves in. And they're both sitting right now about 12th and 13th in points.
Oh, big car hard! The car hard into the wall. It looked like the 28 got into the the 21 got into the 38 right there. I think that was a lag issue. The 38 is crab leg. That's going to definitely hurt. I do not see the caution right there, but yes, Country Caliber made it around that situation, but that lag just came out and bit crabby. It looked like. Still clean and green for these guys.
Not clean, but it's still green after that incident. Yeah, 38 at crab leg. Again, unfortunately, he's one of the drivers that he will not make the playoffs no matter what, as he has been eliminated in that number 38 KMS machine. The 21 does have lag. It has been put out to him in the chat, and I think that's what he was doing, was trying to fall back. However, with that lag, the 38 couldn't quite tell where he was. They made contact, and you see the results as they're riding considerably further behind the pack with a lot of damage on those machines. Up front, we have Big Dane, and the 20 has now moved up into second place. I just got done speaking about how he needs a victory. Last week, he ran strong at both Michigan and Sonoma, and he's sitting in second place here at Chicago in the early stages of this one here tonight.
And I was just going to bring that up for Krabby himself. It is a long race. Stages are into effect. Yes, damage is on as we see the 21 coming down the backstretch, making a move on the inside of the 34. Toyota Mustang going for new leader. Blakey's on the second lane. Big Tane takes the lead again. Now, he needs that W. Here comes Trout right behind him. And back in that fourth spot in the 24 is the one and only Jake Giroux. They have a 4-car breakaway from everybody else. 3-car pack right behind him, it looks like. And that involves Country Caliber and Tackle. Trying to figure out who the other car is real quick. And that's Flirting with Disaster. Everybody else single file because of that lag accident. Again, no harm, no foul for those guys. With stages, they'll be able to get racked and stacked back up to the field here. I'm on the phone with Blakey's stream too, trying to get you guys a lap count here in just a second.
Yeah, so real quick.
25 laps to go.
Anybody that's watching that doesn't necessarily know how we do things here, only the top 3 drivers receive stage points, not the whole top 10. That would be crazy with only 11 drivers. So we see a 4-car breakaway at the front. Jake is your points leader. He's got plenty of points, but to extend that lead, he wants to get to the top 3. Now, fortunately for that backpack of 3 cars, if these guys start getting racy, trying to get the stage point, get into the stage point positions, that might actually allow that back 3 to start catching if they stay in the draft. So that's all they want to do back there is just work with each other and try to make their way forward to this group of 4.
24 laps to go. Blakey T still sitting in second. Leader again, Big Dane. I don't know if these guys are going to have to pit in the first stage. Normally, I try to do a race or 2 during the day. Got a little distracted with a fun factor meter, playing a little NBA with you truly over there, Mr. KTatty. So I can normally try to keep up the date so you guys know. Don't know if they will have to still go into the pits here, but Big Dane, another lap led for him. And like you said, these 4 cars are battling for the top 3 spots for stage points. Just because it comes up and says you got stage points at the end of the race or at the end of the stage, you do not get it unless you're in the 1, 2, 3 spot.
Yeah, something else we need to speak of. The 18 and 20 in real life, those are JGR teammates. Here in Giggity Racing League, those 2 cars are not teammates. The 20 is teammates with the 19 and the 11, but not the 18, as there are only 3-car teams here in Season 5 for the Giggity Racing League. So the 18 trying to get up there and get his team some points without helping that 20 car who is not his teammate.
Yeah, he was driving her in deep and letting her eat, trying to get underneath Blakey T right there. Blakey T again, we talked about that. If you have that draft, the second lane is working, but here comes a Trout. Looks like one car might be Krabby. It is. He looked like he went down. He will go to lap down. Get that back, though. Got the damage fixed on there, so that'll come back to the pit stop for him. But Blakey T's now going to make a move back to the inside. These guys racing now has opened up a 10-car length lead for Big Dane in that 20.
Yeah, that's something we spoke about again in the pre-race. If you get a little bit too racy, second, third place, that's going to allow the leader to take off. Now, the positive, again, that back group of 3, this is a 3-car group here for second battling. That should allow the second group of 3 cars that are working together to be able to catch all 3 of them, and then maybe the 6 cars to be able to go down there and track down your leader in the 20 of the game.
And real quick, I wanted to say something personally to everybody out there, not to take away from the action on the track. I was a little absent last week from being in the booth and on the track. Everybody knows kind of what was going on. The kind words, the messages, everybody, the text messages, everything. So thank you from Mrs. Pudd and I from the bottom of my heart for your guys' thoughts and prayers through that time. But we are still watching these guys. A Trout now is going to look in jeopardy of losing that draft.
Yeah, he caught the wall there on the backstretch that last lap around. It made him lose a little bit of the time as we see a battle for second now here between Jake and Blakey T. Now, what Crableg may want to do in that 38, knowing he's a lap down, he wants to try to be the first car to be a lap down, so he's going to actually maybe want to work with his teammate.
And he's got pressed tires, too.
As I say that, it gets side by side, but as the team, they might want to let the 38 get in front of the 34 and use the 38's draft to suck both the 34, the 24, and the 18 back up to that leader, as they did lose a lot of time there while they were racing side by side for so long.
Somebody who needs that win to get in, and you're just talking about Pro 75, click back to see where he was at, falling off the pace just a little bit, not wondering if he might have got involved in that incident too. But yeah, Crableg again, he's on 4 fresh tires. These other guys don't, so he might be able to race his way back up there, but Dana's looking strong. Blakey T is trying to track him back down.
Yeah, I just seen the 4-car Duck Humor coming back off pit road, so the Quackmaster himself, he is back on track after pitting, but that signifies to me that all of these drivers are going to have to make a green flag pit stop here in stage 1, barring a caution.
Still a good battle back there with Country, Tackleberry, and Flirting with Disaster. They seem to be single file. As I say, that the 11 car clips the wall, does a great job of holding it up. Flirt takes that position very easily, but now country is in jeopardy. He's got to get to the back bumper of that 19 Toyota. Back to the front, Blakey T's still got a lot of pressure from that 24. The one and only Canadian himself, Jake Giroux, and it looks like A. Trout is still trying to keep up with that. But now Big Dane's like, wait a minute, what's going on? There's another car catching me. That is not a lap car, lead lap car. Remember that. That is Crab Legs.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see what just happened. Crab Leg did go around the 20 car pretty quick. We spoke about how racing can slow you down so much here, and knowing that he was not really in a position to do anything here in stage 1, I'm a little shocked to see the 38 car didn't try to race the 20 and slow him up a little and allow his teammate to get up there and maybe possibly win stage 1 here. However, he is battling to stay on the lead lap, so that's huge that he did go and race around his way to get back on the lead lap in that 38 machine. Really like that paint scheme. That looks like the all-star paint scheme for the 38 car.
Yeah, very cool. And that was respectful, though, too, not to race him necessarily and slow him up or his teammate because, again, him and his teammate can't get locked in. They are just racing for points. So, again, you're a little surprised, but at the same time, Big Dane's probably a lot respectful of that issue, too, not having to use his car up as he has now got a 20-car lead plus.
Yeah, you definitely have to be aware of who you're racing and how you're racing. I agree to that. But
you don't want to, as a leader, you don't want to race a lap down car and end up, burning your equipment up.
Yeah, 100% agreed. But if you can get side by side with somebody and race them and keep it clean, I actually did that when we did the big League v League showdown versus NARL. I was on the inside and all of Giggity drivers were on the outside at Super Speedway, and I made sure to leave about a 2-car length gap just to slow down all runs so we didn't have as much draft until the Giggity guys got by, and then I went to the outside. So, I mean, you can be racing lap down, on the lead lap, whatever. You can do things to help out your teammate. As long as you're doing it clean, people will still respect it.
And the A-Trout has got the back bumper of that 34 Blakey T-Mobile. Jake has gotten around him too. Blakey T now giving him a big old push. Thank you to the 14, 15 people out there watching. Again, some of those guys are probably the customs and new to everybody out there again and Facebook. Stay tuned. Directly following this within 10 to 15 minutes, the custom guys. Now, real quick, if you're not familiar, presets and customs. These guys are on almost equal terms. A 1 is too tight, a 9 is too loose, and everything in between, you find that happy median. I heard a lot of these guys say anything from a 5 to a 7. With the cup guys being in the customs, those custom guys are going to be able to utilize the draft, if not go full throttle a little bit more, because you set the car up a lot better than what these preset guys can too, and it's quicker on the racetrack with the customs. So stay tuned with that one after that. But Big Dane wants that stage point, and it's going to be big for him too.
Yeah, I'm really interested. We've got to be coming down to about 12 to 14 laps to go here in stage 1. And I have yet to see this lead back pit. I know some of the guys further back have, and they were in danger of losing laps because of it, but I would have to imagine these guys are getting ready to pit. If not, I don't know why those other drivers would have pit, as I'm starting to see a little bit more lag here, possibly a lobby issue.
11. They are going to have to pit. I'm seeing in a real car, they'd be called dummy lights. Fuel and tire lights are coming on Blakey's car. Not going to give away too much, so these lead pack will have to pit with as they come to 11 to go this time for the first stage.
Yeah, that's really tricky. That's actually going to play in the favor right now of the 20 car, because as we've just seen with the 24 and the 34, I don't know if you were watching them, but a little bit of contact made. It looked like 24 was trying to signal that he's going to pit this time around. A little contact happened between he and the 34. I say that 34 is pitting these, as is the 24. Big Dane had a great advantage there by not being in traffic. He could hit his marks and come to pit road easily, while the other drivers have to worry about each other smashing them in pit road, making sure they signal. Really good smooth entrance though out of the 34 and the 24, and actually looked like they may have gained some time on the 20, as he may have been a little bit too conservative entering pit road.
This is doing nothing but benefiting Crab Leg, right now too.
Yeah, and while all that's going on, Adam Troutman in the 18 car, he stayed out. He's going to lose a little bit of time because he was on track with older tires while they're going to come out with fresh tires. But he is now on pit road, so when they get off pit road, we will see the difference between 1 lap earlier for pitting for the other top 4.
Big Dana 20 car is now coming out. Do you take 2? Do you take 4? Do you take fuel just for 10 laps? That's all up to you. Everybody might be a little bit different. Wheel controllers, they handle just a little bit different too. And just like you said, signaling to the people out there in Facebook. Thank you again for joining in. If you don't know what it means, I call it the international turn signal. You signal, because a lot of these guys are not talking with each other. They have teams. They're in team chats. So their way of communicating to say, hey, I'm pitting this time, is going down the backstretch and clipping that white line line, holding there just for a split second. That notifies everybody behind you, hey, I'm coming to pit lane. Next time by, I'm slowing down. Please don't rear end me, pretty much.
It looks like the racing, the 24 and the 34 ended up going too fast on pit road as they were passed by the 16 and the 11, and the 20 car is half a track ahead of these guys. I mean, it's ridiculous how far ahead that 20 car is. I don't know if he did 2 tires or what, but he just has to hit his marks. He's under no pressure for these next 10 laps. All he's got to do is basically just ride, and he will be your stage 1 winner when the green and white checkered flag comes out at the end.
Blakey T making his way around the 11, trying to get back up there. Again, everybody on a different pit strategy. And something else, too, with their strategies for these people out there that are new to following this. This is a 50% race. This is a 50% race of what a real Cup race would be. Then there's a tire wear. You have a 1 times tire wear, 2, 3, and 4. These guys race on 2 times tire wear. They don't wear the tires out quite as much unless you're really racing. So that's a little bit of a different aspect too. So here in Giggity, we race 50% races on the 2 times tire wear. A pit strategy. A lot of guys don't like that fuel mileage style racing, you know, where you might have to slow down, and or our Australian buddy likes to have his own little fuel save gear, but strategies from everybody come to play here in Giggity Racing.
Yeah, there are people that don't like it, but of course that is a part of racing, you know, and that does happen from time to time, and realistically a lot of that depends on when the costumes fall or don't fall in a stage on whether or not it becomes a fuel racing strategy. To go with what you were said, this is a 50% race. This is a 134 lap event here for the preset drivers. It will be the same for the custom drivers. Times 2 wear, so they get about 30 laps to the tank. So I'm assuming this stage was about 35 to 40 laps.
Ooh, A-Trout makes a move to the inside of the 16 of Tackleberry right there. So if he took different tires or if Tackle tried to stay out, Tackle's now down. I don't know if he hasn't pitted, look like he just might be signaling. Now that 11 car, Country Caliber, him, myself, one of our custom Cup regulars in RG, one of our custom truck guys, rub on him. Again, public lobby racing last night. New aspect of that, we were racing 13% races on 4 times tire wear. Him and I were both in the lead in the second, and fuel mileage came into it, and both of us were like, man, I hate fuel mileage races because the name of the game of racing is to go fast. Nobody wants to cruise around at 7,000 RPM at 150 miles an hour, but do you want to do that, or do you want that win? Wins and top 3s here in Giggity are very prestigious because of the talent we have, so anything to get that W.
Yeah, with that fuel mileage strategy, like you were saying, actually the name of the game in racing is to be the first one across the finish line. Who can run the event in the shortest amount of time? And if you don't have to pit and you're able to save fuel, you will get to the finish line sooner than the drivers that have to make an extra stop, because it'll take them about 15 to 20 extra seconds doing the pit road. So realistically, saving fuel actually is the quickest way around 134 times sometimes, you know. That's
it may not be the most fun, but do you want to have fun or do you want to have a W? I think a W gets you that fun factor. Fun meter going up.
Well, being a video game, I'm not going to lie, the fun meter goes with the side-by-side racing and eventful stuff. Nobody wants to ride around by themselves the whole time, but again, like you were saying, you got to do what you got to do to get that W.
I mean, if it wasn't for you two giving me the opportunity to commentate before I've even had the opportunity to race with Giggity, I jumped in, man, and it was just so much fun. My best finish in Giggity, I have wins in other leagues, but my best ones here in Giggity is a 3rd, and that I want to top that. I want to make that better each week. These guys work hours on end, sometimes days on these setups, as you all know, to get these cars exactly what they want. They practice and practice and practice to make sure they get. And with our point system, the championship, yes, we do award a championship to our preset and custom guys and the truck Xfinity and Cup. So time and effort goes into this. Oh yeah, the development guys too. They put a lot of work in. Tatty, do you want to explain too for the viewers out there on Facebook who are just now joining in what you know, how you get signed to a team, what development is?
Yeah, so development series, anybody can join. We mandate that you have to race at least 2 times. Real quick, sorry. Looks like the stage has come to an end here. The 20 of Big Dane will be your stage winner, followed by Jake Giroux, and I don't know what happened to Blakey T, but it looks like A Trout possibly in 3rd, maybe Blakey T, I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, so development, we simply, anybody can come and join Giggity Racing League. We throw you in developmental. Teams are allowed 3 cars per series. That's Custom Cup, Preset Cup, Custom Xfinity, Preset Xfinity, blah, 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 through the way with trucks. And anyway, so you have to race a minimum of 2 times in the development series. and then you're eligible for any captain to be able to sign you to their team if they have a spot open. That does not say that you're guaranteed to get a spot. We try to make sure that the drivers are good, clean, fast, all the above, the requirements per team. And so at the same time, if you don't get picked up by a team, you can still race every Friday night here in the Development Series and go for your own little mini championship there as well. With a never-ending roster, it seems like, because, again, people getting signed and new people joining every week. And here we go, green flag in stage 2. Big Dane leads Blakey T, Country Caliber, Jake Giroux, and Adam Troutman as they cross the line, entering turn 1 here. That's your top 5.
I was just going to say, we're going to rack them and stack them here in stage 2. Thanks again to everybody out in YouTube land. These guys now sticking together. Big Dane got that lead. Blakey said, man, that was a close call. And of all things, the one and only, the fuel mileage master himself, all he did was put a little smug face out there on YouTube. Great to have you out there. He is not from Australia. I make a joke. Good friend of mine. He does live in England. So yes, Giggity is worldwide. We have people from Canada. We used to have people from Brazil, Australia, and even in the UK. So Giggity is it's kind of a big deal in my eyes, guys.
Sorry about that, Paul. Can you hear me a little bit better now? Good talk.
Big Dane out there still pulling away. Country Caliber rep here in that third spot. Blakey T bringing it back up there again. Jake Giroux again. These guys starting to race. That's flirt with disaster. If they keep doing this, so even with A-Trout pushing them, these 3 cars can break away. We talked about it. They've talked about it and talked about it. Cannot let that happen. Cannot race each other that early. It is way too early. Patience is a virtue in racing. Tackleberry up way high on that third lane, trying to keep it off. 3 wide, coming up the corner back there in the 10th position. But man, look at that guy. Great racing here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, that's really tricky. That's the benefit of starting up front here at Chicagoland Speedway.
3 wide. Quackmaster in the middle. Hold on. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Private Patton's on the inside. There's Pro 75 in the 8. Tackle going to give him a push. Flirt with disaster in the 19 on the outside. Again, look at these guys. A little bit of draft, and side draft does come into effect. If you've never done it, guys, it is hard to hold in the middle, and these guys are barely touching. Grab legs now back here, 2. Now they bring it back to 2 wide. Sorry about that.
Blakey T racing Big Dane for the lead up front as well, as they're starting to pull away. But what I was saying is, right, so on these restarts, the top 5, they're still the top 5, and the reason is they can single file out quicker as everybody else is battling for position. And when that happens, it actually allows you to just step away from the rest of the field while they're trying to get sorted out in a single file. Now, if this back half of the field does decide to stay single file, they should be able to catch them, as draft plays a huge role here. And just like at a super speedway, the more cars in the draft, the faster that draft is going. So the 2 cars that right now are a sitting duck is the 24 and the 18, is that second pack should catch them. And if they do, then the 24 should be able to pull that whole second pack all the way back up to this top 3. But it depends on how much racing is going on. As I say that, the battle for the lead is heating up as Blakey T trying to get the inside of the 20, but this time the 20 does have help. That is his teammate from Mopower Motorsports, the 11, Country Caliber, one of our top 5 in points here. So that's a fast car to try to be pushing that 20 car out in front.
Avery J out there, he wants to know how many laps are left. This is probably 5 or 6 laps in the stage 2 for you. He was one of our custom cup guys. Stay in tune out there. Again, stay tuned for that. Watch him. That is his PSN name is AJ Storm. Keep an eye out for him in the customs. So these guys out there don't want to know probably, do they got time for dinner? Do they got time to eat? Do they got time to spend with the family? Or coming up to race time, are they still working on these custom cars? So they're keeping an eye on that. And Sean Tattersall out there, I think you might know who that is there. Tatty says, let's go KMS, but great to have him. Never heard of her. He said, let's go KMS. So great to have all you guys out there. Blakey T giving a big old bump from behind from Country Caliber, but Big Dane looking real strong tonight.
Real quick, while we have Avery Jarrett out there in the YouTube land, some of you may know of him as AJ Storm. I want to give a big kudos to him from not just me, but all of Giggity Racing League. Anybody that knows this game knows that they've been doing some esports qualifying for the December 60 race. And I know of 3 of our drivers that made it to the esports race this coming Sunday, as that's AJ Storm, Flash9, and Color Motorsports. You'll see all 3 of them here shortly in the custom race. But I know that they are 3 of the top 14 drivers in the game after qualifying. So congratulations to all three of you, not just for me, but from anybody here at Giggity Racing League. I don't know if there's any more drivers. Those are the only three that I know of right now that race at Giggity that also made it, but congratulations for sure.
Very, very, very big congratulations. Blakey T gets a little loose coming off in that preset. That is a lot of time and effort and work. Again, that's something else. The Pro League is not necessarily affiliated to Giggity Racing, but we have the talent of those guys over here, and it's great to have them. If you don't, out there in Facebook land, take a look at it and go back and watch them. So, yeah, congratulations to them. We will be able to see them, and it's a pretty cool honor to be able to know those guys and be able to talk to them at the same time as Blakey T is trying to get around Big Dane and Country right there with him.
Yeah, that's something we might ought to try to do actually on Sunday is during that race, since we do have some Giggity drivers performing in it. We may try to post that link because they go Facebook Live with that event. So we may try to share that actually to the Giggity Racing League Facebook so that you guys can all see that. And if any way possible, maybe see if we can share that to our YouTube. But I don't think we can because of the restrictions on that. But definitely try to get it on our Facebook so you guys can watch these guys perform. It'll be an awesome event.
Yeah, we'll definitely find a way to get the link. Now, look at these top three cars, single file. They are not pushing each other, not wearing the car out. They have started to pull away from the top, the fourth and fifth, excuse me. The top three have started to pull away. Top five still right there, but single file racing, not eating these tires up. Big Day not getting far away this time, but I think that's because Blakey T and Country obviously are staying single file right there with them. But the three cars right there are looking really good.
Yeah, you definitely, I mentioned Country Caliber being the teammate of the 20, definitely wants to push that 20 to get the stage win again, as Blakey T's kind of all by himself up there sitting in second. However, realistically, the 11 doesn't want to get racing with the 34 because all that's going to do is slow all three of them down. It may let the 20 walk away like he did before, but then, the rest of the field could easily catch any of them. They're in a good position. They have such a big lead over the rest of the field that right now, as it sits, all three of those drivers, Big Dane, Blakey T, and Country Caliber, would receive stage points at the end of the stage. So Country, knowing that that's the scenario, even if Big Dane ends up third in the stage, that's still 1 point more than what he would have gotten before. So all three of them sitting in a pretty good position here at 1, 2, and 3.
Not to take away from our leaders because they've obviously worked their butts off to get up there, but let's take a look at this pack that's fallen off a little bit. Look how racy they were just getting. Now they're going single file, but this big pack, if they would go single file, they would eat that two-car pack up. But these guys back here, they're getting very racy, but it's great racing. But great racing doesn't always mean to speed. These guys are out trying to get each position they can. I'm only assuming that they might have to pit again here in stage 2, definitely in stage 3. Crab Legs back there got involved in that little bit of an incident, pulling this pack around with Flirt Disaster and Tackleberry right behind. But this pack back here, great racing. Pro 75 and that 8 car definitely needs to try to work up a little, get that 8 car up to the front. Private Patton, it doesn't seem like he's lagging anymore. He did fall back to the pace a little bit. We do respect that from him. Thank you for doing that, but he's looking pretty good right now. Still too wide back here. Oh, never mind. As soon as I say it, he's lagged. I'm just going to quit bringing up his name right now.
I think one of the biggest things that's happened in the second pack, there are 6 cars. If they would single out down these straightaways, they could go much faster. But I've been seeing the 16 and the 19 side by side. As I've just seen the 16 get into the 4 lose a little bit of ground. That's not helping their case. That's equivalent to being racing. In the corners, if you're the guy that's behind, the 19, if you're tackle, you really got to lift the 8 into the wall hard. But if you're the 16, you got to really lift on these entrants so you're not getting below the 19 and affecting his line. Anytime you're affecting the guy in front of you's line, you're costing both drivers speed. So they really, really need to start working together. And as that's all been going on, look, you can see it happening live. The 38 car just pulling away from this whole pack. And that should not be able to happen with how strong the draft is at Speedway like this.
Again, not to take away and quote-unquote dumb it down for all of our Giggity regulars and especially our Giggity viewers out there too, but simulator racing like this, some of these, as Private Patton looks like he is coming down the pit lane back there.
That was Pro 75.
Pro 75, excuse me. But some of these guys are on controllers. We call it banging sticks, Then some of these guys actually have wheels and gas pedals. So this is, again, for everybody out there in Facebook, some of these guys, you're like, why is he getting a little wobbly? Well, he might be on a controller. He might even be on a wheel, but the draft again, that plays into effect. A side draft, as we're seeing this back here with Tackleberry, that affects it with Duck Humor on the inside. Your car gets tighter if you're behind somebody, too. There's
a lot of things that affect that because you also have to keep in mind how many laps these guys have run And the difference between the top 3 drivers that are just running a single file line, running their own line every single lap, compared to these guys that have been racing side by side, putting a little bit more pressure on the right front, the right rear, their cars are going to get a little bit looser than the rest of the field. Again, that's something we're going to see in the custom aspect later, as some cars right out the gate are going to be loose, some are going to be a little tighter, and then they're probably going to swap towards the end of the run. You'll see a lot of comers and goers, and that's exactly what I'm seeing here. Looks like as the tires are getting worn out, the 38 and the 19 are just a lot faster than the second pack, and they're starting to pull away. But at the same time, nobody's helping anybody's cause in this backpack, as the top 3 leaders are just taken away.
We just mentioned his name, AJ Storm. He said controller gang. There's people who go back and forth. Some guys prefer a controller, guys and gals here in Giggity Racing prefer a controller on road courses. Then there's other ones for super speedways and a mile and a half that prefer the wheel. Some people prefer the wheel all the way around, and some people don't like it at all. So it's just a matter of preference, but you got to find that happy medium, and once you get dialed in, it's a lot of fun to race with these guys. I know for a fact when I got a wheel, it definitely helped me out a little bit too. But people are different,
I got to say what I'm seeing here out of the field. I've actually gone back up to the front with Big Dane and them, and I'm actually still seeing. Oh, Big Dane coming to pit road this time by. Anyway, so what I'm seeing is this 38 car. He's all by himself on the track. He doesn't have any draft in front of him or behind him. He does have cars there, but he doesn't have them close enough to get draft. And he's actually staying pretty even with the 24 and the 18. And those 2 cars are staying pretty even with the guys in front of them. So somehow this 38 car, with or without draft, seems to be a very heavy competitor here, very fast car. And, he's sitting pretty for entering stage 3, being up front with these top 5.
Yeah, and he was very excited too. He had a great run last week. Again, we just saw him with a little bit of a misfortune in a little early in that race. Now he is one of our wheel drivers, as we were just talking about too. And can't give away what slattery he's on, but some people like a little bit of a tighter car, some people take or a looser car, and vice versa. And then because the tire adjustments, there's tape, there's wedge, those are the only adjustments you can really make to help your car handle and dial in better in the pits. But the custom guys, it gets a lot more in depth, even down to gear ratios. But he's looking very good, like you just said.
Yeah, I think that pitting early like the 20 car did, if this stays green, I think that's really going to play into his hands depending on how many laps left. He should have a huge lead by pitting as early as he did. He's out there with fresh tires, probably putting lap times about half a second quicker than the rest of the field.
I think the 18 just signaled. Go ahead.
Saving grace for the 11 and the 34 is that they are still drafting, so they're not falling off as much as a car that would be all by themselves. However, when you pit that early, you're at the saving grace of at the end of the stage, those cars that pit later, they're going to have the fresher tires as you start falling off and be able to try to gain that ground. So definitely going to be interesting, but when these pit cycles cycle around, the 20 should be the leader with a good couple second lead. But expect him to start losing that fairly quick. But I know that there's going to be less laps than stage 1 when they come out. There might only be just a handful, 5 or 6. So this might be one of those stages that you might think about 2 tires or fuel only, something like that, if you can make it, if you're a little bit further back, like your Crab Legs and Flirt with Disaster.
Yeah, it's all depending upon, too. Some people like to pit early. Some people like to pit, with the leader. Like you said, too, it looks like Krabby, I don't know. Oh, Crab looks like he just got loose right there, or Blakey got loose. Or he really did. You don't have to actually make a U-turn to signal like Blakey did. Something else again, not trying to this, and that was his signal. Blakey T coming down, 11 are still our leader right now. Something else that's a little bit different out there too is you can't just come running into the pits gun hot there, Taddy. Again, not trying to say anything to the people who already know things, to our brand new viewers out there on Facebook though, but you have to be able to get to a pit speed limit. If not, you get penalized. So you go down, you get your 4 tires, you get your fuel, but then you can sit there for an extra 15 seconds if you do not hit the pit speed limit at each track. It's a little bit different too. Some tracks easy to get on, some tracks easy to get off, some tracks pain in the butt, but it's both ways to get on and off.
Yeah, to anybody new to the league, actually, there's a big difference between that and our development series. Our development series runs the same length races, 50%. Of course, they go through Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. They run all 3 series over there in the development, so we can kind of see how they do in all categories. But they don't have cautions. They don't have flags. They can just go screaming down pit road. And something else that we do here that might differ from other leagues that you'll see on the NASCAR Heat 5 game is we don't do manual cautions. All these drivers, they have to signal because we don't have one large group of communication. We allow people, again, we spoke with 3-car teams. Those guys are allowed to be in their own individual chats so they can work on pit road strategies, drafting strategies, when they want to make moves, stuff like that, just like you would be able to in a real-life race. Because of that, if you don't signal to those guys behind you, there's a really good chance you're just going to get plowed through entering the corners. And again, without the manual cautions here, you really got to hope nothing happens. Again, that's something that differs from this league and a lot of others is some run manual cautions. We don't do that. You got to stay on the track. And incidents like what happened with the 21 and the 38 earlier, a lot of leagues would have just thrown a flag, made it slow down. But here at Giggity with game cautions only, that didn't happen. So, great battling back looks like from the 38. The 21 still seems to be a little bit farther back, but I think that's because he's being respectful, knowing that he's having those lag issues.
Yeah, some people call it a manual caution. Other people call it caution. But again, here in Giggity, there's 2 types of game cautions: strict cautions and relaxed cautions. We run relaxed cautions here again too. So we do appreciate everybody out there in YouTube land. And a big shout out to.
It looks like he made contact with the 4. He goes up into the track. The 4 looks like he's going to make it onto pit road, but hopefully he did not get a speeding penalty. Sorry to interrupt you there. A lot of action happening entering pit road. So.
I tried to get back there, and the 21 clearly missed it because he is now going down pit lane at a very high rate of speed to get around, so he did not hit that yellow line or the commitment cone right there. So that's going to be very detrimental to his race too, on top of what he's already been dealing with.
Yeah, currently Patton hates it here.
Patton hates it here. That is facts. And again, big shout out to our man Money Mike, Coco Money Mike, for helping setting all this up out there on Facebook. We are always trying to expand Giggity. It used to be Giggity Racing League. Now it's Giggity Sports League. We have numerous other platforms that we are playing on here in Giggity too. So let's say you're not a football fan or a NASCAR fan. There's other ways to join Giggity now other than something you don't care for. Oh, crab leg misses pit lane hard into the wall right there. I do not want to be on his crew chief's ear right now because it probably sounds like Cole Trickle.
Yeah, Lobster Boyle, his crew chief, he is screaming in the headset right now. He is very upset. Crab leg just missed it. He locked up the brakes, spun the car out, and Lobster Boyle is not happy with his driver right now.
And with that being said, as I'm trying to look back here on Blakey T's screen, I think that is going to put Big Dane back in the lead.
Yeah, something interesting there. His teammate, the 11 car, is still there, so I don't know what happened. The 11 must have done something on pit road to be able to catch that 20, maybe possibly a 2-tire stop. He doesn't seem to be gaining a whole lot on the 20 at this moment, so not sure what happened, but definitely interesting.
And you were talking about too with the team chats, just because these guys are in real life team cars doesn't mean they are team members. Sometimes at tracks like these guys just go into their own teams. At plate tracks, as we call it, the big draft tracks, I know 2 or 3 teams that will actually combine, because when you're doing 200 plus mile an hour with 16 to 20 people in a draft, everybody needs to communicate. So these teams also work back and forth. There's also team affiliations, sister teams sometimes. These guys working out. Big Jim out there, man. He says, let's go KMS. Great to have him out there. Miss seeing him on the track. Did have prior obligations tonight, but we will look forward to seeing him back on the track. He's got himself a couple W's this year, too, here at Giggity.
Yeah, he was broadcasting for like a Pokemon game or something like that. I don't know.
Pokemon.
I'm kidding out there. Big Jim, good to have you tuning in.
Oh, crab leg. That's another person who is not liking it here right now. Just scrapes the wall again, trying to get back up, seeing what that is. That's Blakey T. He has now caught that rear bumper of the 11, trying to make a move back to the inside of it. Can these guys catch Big Dane? If they keep racing like this, they can't. Judging by the way Blakey T just went around the country, he didn't put up much of a fight. Country might have just did what you said, enough fuel and maybe some right sides to get to the end of here of Stage 2, Giggity Season 5, Chicagoland preset race.
Yeah, but I don't think that he's going to have enough time to be able to catch that leader. The 20 car is just absolutely soaring.
Yeah, but see, he is gone, and like you said, that lead that he did get, that's going to pay off for him. But at the same time, he did pit earlier, so he is on older tires, but he's also have less fuel. That makes you a little bit faster, but older tires too makes it hard to handle.
Yep.
That's why we keep Tatty up here. For the gold commentary like that. Trying to look over at my phone real quick, see how many laps we got left here. Stage 2. So custom guys, remember, we do have another race after this. Get ready. We have one more stage. So you know if you got to do something to that vehicle of yours, want to go tweak on it, stage 2 is coming to an end. Big Dane just absolutely having a good, great night. Something he does not want to see is a caution. Something he does not want to see is an accident. He is on rails tonight. We have seen this in the past, Tatty, where somebody has been absolutely dominant and not win the race because of something that was out of their hands.
I'll tell you something that we see a lot here in the preset series. Not taking anything away from the 20 car of Big Dane, but we're seeing Blakey T, Country Caliber. But let's not forget about the guy sitting in 4th right now, Jake.
This should be the last lap. I think, yep, this should be the last lap for our leaders.
Stage 1 and Stage 2, Jake usually rides in about 3rd, 4th, 5th position. But the end of the race, that 24 car comes alive. And as the stage ends, Big Dane will get the stage win. Blakey T, Country Caliber also receiving stage points. But Jake Giroux was lurking back there. I seen him actually catching the 11 car on those last couple of laps. So let's not forget about that 24 car. He's the points leader for a reason. The man's fast everywhere we go. He puts in a lot of time at these tracks and practices for a whole week in advance. And so he usually shows up at the end of the race. And he's in that predicament right now where he will be restarting 4th, followed by Flirt with Disaster. It looks like he finished 5th in that stage. So top 5, I'm seeing them on my stage screen right now. It looks like you guys are too. All 5 of these cars in contention. And again, with it being such a heavy draft track, I think all cars are on the lead lap right now. So literally all 11 cars have a chance at winning this race still. So don't count any driver out there. And to any of the viewers out there, let me know who you guys got as your race winner here tonight. Who's your guys' favorite driver in the Preset Cup Series here for Giggity Racing League?
Big Jim says he's got to go tweak on that Mustang for the next custom race because he's got a 50 spot on you for the next one, too, right there.
Does that say that I get $50 if I win? I appreciate that, Big Jim. Way to throw that $50 on me winning.
All right, guys, you know what time it is. Stage 3, we're going to rack 'em and stack 'em. Big Dane, Blakey T, Jake Giroux, and Country Caliber. Your top 4 are going to pull them down. Where do you want to be on a track like this on the restart? You want to be on that high side? You want to be on that low side? Here they go. Still single file, just a little bit. 2 cars battling it back here for 2nd and 3rd. Back into the pack. That is the one and only Blakey T. Just got hung out to dry on that high side. Looks like he might have wanted to be. That low line was looking really good right there. Can he work his way back up? Big Dane still the leader. Jake Giroux now making a move to the inside of Country Caliber. Quackmaster and Tackleberry, A-Trout right there with him too. Jake Giroux is always one to keep an eye on. He is lurking, like you said. May not have something for you early, but he will come back and get you numerous time champion here in Giggity.
Sorry. So, yeah, my bad. Since February of 2017, this is a question to all the viewers out there. We have had 3 races since 2017 at Chicagoland Speedway. Which driver in NASCAR Cup Series has the highest average finish of all drivers?
Woo! Oh, Private Patton looks like he's getting way loose back there. Well, that is a good question. I like these little bird burners every now and then. Still 3 wide back here, too, not to take away from that. Blakey T on the inside of A-Trout Tackleberry right there. Can Blakey T hook up with his teammate Crablegs? A-Trout now got hung to the outside. Tackle's getting pushed to the inside, just a little outside, just a little bit by Pro 75. Again, Pro 75 in the Pro Points Championship needs to have himself a good finish. That second lane works really good if you set it up right, though. You got to back that corner up. We mean let off the gas just a little bit. Here comes Blakey T. Blake makes a little bit of contact back there with the 19 and flirting with Disaster. A-Trout's going to make a move to the inside. Quackmaster now back up here for the lead, too. Not to take away from this. Jake Giroux makes contact in the inside of the 20. Quack hits up there, too.
Okay, I'm going to get back to that question before too many people have time to
Google.
But who are you going to go with as your answer? We have Big Jim out there said Harvick has the...
I say Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer, ooh, that's a good guess. I know the answer, so I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to tell you who it is. Kyle Larson with the average finish of 3rd place here.
Wow.
3 races.
K. Larson.
3rd place is his average finish. Actually, K. Larson also has, not of just since 2017, he has the best average finish of all drivers at this track ever with a 6.17 in 8 races here.
And that is good to know. I like that. But look what's happening. Big Dane is loving what he sees in that rear view. These guys racing. They need to get single file. The track came back down. They're still racing back here for every point they can get, every spot. Remember, guys, these guys, unless there's a caution, they're going to have to make a green flag pit stops. 4 wide going into turn 3. Jake DeRue on the inside. Blake Tuckleban's out of it. A-Trout way to the outside. Quackmaster right there in the middle. Contact being made just a little bit. Country Caliber now up to 2nd, but whoa, they did a great job. I think Blakey T said, I'm not going to be part of that, and got out of that, and that was a smart move not to call it cause a caution. We have yet to have one tonight.
Out there, Big Jim is saying he's surprised to see Private Pat not up there. Just so you know, Big Jim, Private Patton has been having lag issues, so he's kind of just riding around in the back. That's why you see him so far back. He's being very respectful. Big kudos to that 21 and 3 wide here. Crab leg to the inside of Flirt, Flirt to the inside of Jake. They're all 3 wide coming off of turn 4. Man, this racing is crazy right now. Flirt gets in front of the 24, drifts up in front, trying to use him to get a little bit of draft on the outside. Country Caliber in 2nd, trying to reel down your leader. Battle for 3rd, A-Trout, Blakey T going to the inside of him, and the battle for 4th, or 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th through the rest of the field is heating up here. As people know, it is stage 3. It is time to go. I don't care if the leader walks away. I'm finishing the best I possibly can here. 24 into the side of the 38. 38 drifts up almost into the wall. 19 under the 4. 24 passes the 38. Here comes Tackleberry in the 16, and Pro 75 still in the battle in that 8 car.
Private Packman still following these guys. Got their draft, which Big Jim was talking about, but still Big Dane out there pulling around. Now 3 cars have caught up to that 11. That is, those guys got to try to work real hard. Tackleberry needs to have himself a good finish. I know Tackle pretty well. Great racer. Just had some bad luck this year. Now he is pushing that 24 back there in the middle of the pack. Big Dane still out there, but look at that. Who's that back in 2nd again already? These guys going crazy. It is time to go, like you said, here in stage 3. But you don't want to get too wild and crazy. You don't want damage, especially if a caution doesn't come out. Now these guys back here from 2nd on back starting to go single file. Big Dane, Tackleberry getting pushed by Crab Legs. They're going to try to draft their way around that 24 of Jake DeRue, but on the outside that's Pro 75 giving Jake DeRue the push. So he's going to try to make that work. And there's that side draft we were talking about, Tatty. It looked real good right there, and it kept him right next to him.
Yep, sure did. Sorry there. 4, Dust Humor got under Tackleberry. Crab Leg is now ahead of Jake DeRue, the driver without any teammates out there. The 8, he drives for Wicked Motorsports. He's the only driver on that team in this series. As to anybody that doesn't know, Wicked Motorsports is the only team with only 1 car per series. So he's doing what he can as he's sitting in, I believe, 12th in points. Followed in front of him is the 20, our race leader, trying to lock himself in. And honestly, the 18 of A-Trout is trying his best not to allow that to happen, as A-Trout is sitting 10th in points right on the bubble. If the 20 gets the win and passes him in points, that would knock the 18 out, as he does not have a win yet this season either. So Adam Troutman up there trying to do anything he can to get up there and battle that 20 car and not allow him to get that victory here tonight.
Dean Clavitt, as normal, you are parked tonight. Comments unbecoming of a driver in Giggity. So, sorry, man. Looks like just leave it on the holler, buddy.
What did he tell you his name? Just Dean being Dean?
Dean's being Dean. You gotta love the old Parco. He is Parco for a reason. 11 car getting pushed by, again, not his teammate, but his teammate on the car in real life. That is the A-Trout mobile, like you said, Blake T. And that 34, these guys now in a 5-car battle, 4-car battle. Can they go single file to catch the leader? Big Dane is loving it, like we've been saying it over and over. Most dominant car. Will his pit strategy will happen? Will his, caution come out? He does not want to see any of that. He wants and needs this win tonight to get in there. But this battling all through the pack is crazy. Fleurs is now up there too. Looks like everybody has now got a single file in the back to try to reel himself back in.
Yeah, I really think that they're going to have to take 2 stops here in this stage. So what's going to be absolutely best for these guys is, you know, they were fighting hard to get their track position and try to move up in the field when everybody's close to each other, exactly like you're supposed to. But now that it's spread out a little bit, you really need to just let your car ride, make it to the pit stop, try to make up all your position on pit road here. Too much racing, and all you're going to do at this point in time in the race is just lose a lot of time to that race leader. And a lot of these guys have already lost too much. You know, Crableg 38, 4 of Duck Humor, he's always a top contender. Big Taru, all these guys in this farther backpack, they really need to just ride together, work together, try to make up as much ground as the leader as they can, and battle it out on pit road. That's the best thing they can do. I'll be right back.
Well, he said too, you know, what do? Do you pit with the leader? And these guys are all racing really hard, burning up the tires, using that fuel in that car. Jake Drew making a move to the inside of Quack right there in the 4 car. Big Dane's still the leader. Blakey T still second. Caliber, A-Trout, and Flirt right there. That is your top 6. These guys too, sometimes on presets. Custom cars, people do make adjustments to them. I know on my custom, every now and then I'm like, I want to do something, especially if we see a caution here later in the run. They're going to just go in, pump the right side tires up, lower that wedge, and let her eat. But we have been clean and green all night except for a couple small things, no cautions. So these guys probably want to set up for the long run also. Crableg wants these guys to get behind him single file and say, come on, we need to catch this front pack.
Yep. Definitely want to catch the front pack. Hard to win if you're not near the leader.
Gotta love these facts from our one and only KTatty. Again, everybody out on Facebook, KTatty is the CEO of this league. His contact a little bit right there. Didn't get bumper hooked. 2 Toyotas, the 18 and 19. That's A-Trout and Flirt. Flirt makes a move to the inside. That's right there. They got country too. Trout's got the draft with the 11 car, but he's going to wait and Flirt. Nope, he's not going to wait. Flirt's right there with him too. Second, Big Dane is now looking like he's losing a little bit of ground. He has lost a lot of ground. Blakey T is right on that rear bumper. Mustang Toyota crime up here at the front. Ma Bear, Paul Bear, I know if you guys are out there, again, they help run our development, so thank for all of them, but I got to give this one to Ma Bear, you know. Blakey T, as a driver, come on with your bad self. Go get that Big Dane mobile. You're going to drive it right there to the rear bumper. Big Dane is now have a lot of competition. 11 car of country caliber by himself. No draft help in front, no draft help in behind. So these 2 front cars can walk away. Yes, sir.
I'm looking at first and second as a Toyota and a Ford, followed by a Toyota.
I don't want to hear it. Nope. I already know where you're going. Nope.
And then another Ford, and then another Ford. And then I feel like you always tell me Chevys are dominant, because I am not seeing that.
Chevys are dominant. Chevy is the only car. If you don't drive a Chevy, then, you know, just like if you don't chew Big Red from Ricky Bobby, you know what I'm saying? But these guys out there may not have got to pick their car. Each team is a little bit different. I know KMS, we're 99% Chevrolet, except for the, Taddy, you wanted a Ford? I don't know what's that all about. You did bring a Ford to W. You get a W in a Ford.
That 32 is won in both preset and customs. You're looking at 34 up front. You've had a few wins in these Fords, so just saying, most of your owner points here are coming from the Fords, not your Chevys.
All right, and there's the peanut gallery you guys can't hear about here right now.
Coco is informing Puddin how he would much rather be racing a Mazda than anything weird up here.
He's in a Hyundai!
Inside.
Blakey T making a battle for the lead. Here it comes. New leader, Blakey T, in that wannabe Ford Mustang with Chevrolet horsepower. That's the only way to make it fast. Oh, that's fine.
Coco has Dirt Dog Puddin and muted him. I want to big shout out to anybody that's watching. I know these races take a long time, especially the Cup. They take about an hour and a half to race. To anybody that's been watching since the drop of the green, we really appreciate it. Anybody on the Facebook, I don't know if we're getting any views there. But definitely thanks for tuning in. 34 caught the apron, 20 back to the inside. Big Dane reclaims the lead. Man, this 20 car is on rails, and he's doing exactly what he has to. After tonight, there's only going to be two races remaining to make it to the playoffs. So that is huge for Big Dane.
Big Dane had, like you said, he has been the most dominant car, but Blakey T has given him the most pressure so far here in Stage 3. Country Caliber, no help from behind, can't catch that drive from front either. Now, Bet Flirt, if they catch up, that will turn into a big car pack, but they need to go single file to catch it. These guys up here, racing back and forth, that's not good for these guys. These guys in the back loved seeing that. I saw one car. Did they get a little squirrely right there, or were they signaling, here comes Blakey T making a move back to the inside? Can he get to reclaim the lead? If that was a photo finish, I wouldn't say it would be, but no, actually, yeah, that was. Look at that. Blakey would have be a new leader right there. Big Dane, side draft came into effect. Country now right there with it. Those guys racing back and forth, Taddy gave that opportunity to bring that 11 car up there.
Yep.
It sounds good.
Yep. Puddin thinks he's doing a great job up here.
Well, that's what I get for thinking.
Ouch.
Not
gonna say what was said here in our ear.
Yeah.
We weren't talking, so you guys may have actually heard him. You know, we spoke about this a lot. Look at what has happened. The 20 and the 34 being a little racy. The 11 has now caught them, but don't look now. The whole second pack is just a couple car lengths back now. So this battle for the race is huge. As Hunty said, there's probably about 25 laps to go, and they should all be having to make their pit stops here soon. 21 in the wall. That was 21. 19 and the 8 are on pit road. So they're going to gain a lot of ground if all these guys pit within the next lap or two. The 19 and the 8. Look for them to possibly be your leader when the pits cycle out.
And all that racing, they're getting a racy dicey up there in the front. Again, now look at that big pack. They were just single file. This went from a 3-car battle to a 7-car battle all of a sudden.
Crableg trying to get to pit road. Let's see if he locks him up and spins him out this time. Not so sure whether or not... got one of you. Looks like he's going to make it on pit road. Lobster Boyle, his crew chief, yelled him enough last time and threw cocktail sauce on him. And he was screaming at
Put a little butter in the gas tank.
Yeah, Crableg was able to make it onto pit road with a tackle Beery right behind him. Big Dane.
The 20 just signaled.
This time by, yeah.
Will they follow? There's no penalty if you don't signal, but it's a big respect issue. No, they will not follow. Now, something that we do uphold too here in Giggity is the 2 laps to go, no pitting rule on stages. That will not be into effect here in Stage 3.
Yeah. Right, you can do it at the end of the race. That's not a big deal. It actually does nothing but cost you time. Something that I've seen right there that we spoke about, the 18 of H route is sitting 10th in points, and the 20 is 11th on the outside looking in. Adam Troutman is trying to make sure the 20 cannot get this victory, and he is the only taker to pit at the same time as your race leader. So that was huge by Trout. That might have been the move of the race for him if he's trying
Country, Jake, Private Pat, and Quackmaster Blakey, 5 cars to pit lane. Green flag pit stops, obviously in effect here. Will they, like you said, Big Dane's pit strategy worked out for him earlier. Look the lead did he have. That was probably smart to follow him in there if you want to be competitive with him.
Did you just count all the way to 5?
I didn't know I could, but yeah.
I am proud of you.
I had to use my fingers and toes, but I got there.
The 18 of Trout. Crableg is coming around. Looks like he might get ahead of the 20 car, as he was up to speed. So as I spoke about these guys that pit early, the 38 is now your race leader. Yeah, Crableg. Well, I don't know if he's the race leader, but I know that he's in front of who was the race leader. So Crableg looking strong after this green flag pit cycle. And Flirt with Disaster now right behind the 20. Those two are teammates. So interested to see if he's going to try to help that 20 get back up to that 38 car.
Again, to all of our Facebook viewers that are just now joining in too, when you come off the pit lane, these guys cannot just pull up in front of everybody. You cannot arch the page to the field, as we call it. There is a apron. You have to follow everybody around. So these guys came off a pit lane on the apron trying to get up to speed, but that's also very tricky because if you hit that apron and if you do it wrong, you will spin out those. So those guys coming up to speed on about 190 miles an hour, Oh, a big bump into the wall by Crab Legs. Those guys also are trying to get up to speed and get position back. Now it's time. These guys say it is time to go.
I don't know if you saw that or not, but Big Dane's move to get himself back up into that second, third position that he's sitting in now. Jake Giroux was coming off pit road, but he was up to speed. He and Crableg were side by side. Instead of lifting, when Crableg pushed him down, he actually made the move and put it in the middle of the 3 wide, exiting 2. And that's actually what cost Crableg to lose all that time on exit. Crableg had to be the one to lift and not the 20 car. That 20 of Big Dane is driving with everything he has, and he is driving the wheels off that machine, trying to get that victory and lock himself into the playoffs.
You gotta be able to hold your nerves too. You know, it is like I said, the win here in Giggity is very prestigious. Everybody gets a little nervous, and everybody, especially when they're racing around everybody. Now, the person that we will see in the custom race out there says, "What's up, gentlemen?" That is the one and only Deadpool. We will see him in the 42 Chevrolet in the custom race here at Chicago. Stay tuned for that race. This one is not over, ladies and gentlemen. Blakey T, you're fired because you are texting and driving. You are no longer driving anything next year except for a golf cart at the golf course, delivering beer, and then I'm going to make you stay late and watch the golf cart afterwards because you are texting and driving. That is illegal.
Big Dane drove it in a little bit too hard there, entering turns 3 and 4, lost a little bit of ground to the 24. The 19 pushed him to get him back going again, but Big Dane, again, he's driving in hard. He's trying to get everything he can out of this machine. And while he's trying to race Jake Drew, it's going to do nothing but help his teammate, Country Caliber, last week's winner at Sonoma. He's pulling away here in that 11 car.
Something else new to the you guys out there on YouTube, you want to know too, the teams as of this year, teams have customs and presets all together. Next year it is being divided. There is preset captains only and custom captains only next year too. So a little bit of a change for season 6 here in Giggity. But this year, trying to explain everything. I know everybody out there already knows stuff, but we want to tune everybody into the Facebook. Again, Big Mike, thank you for helping us out and explore new options on how we can broadcast and expand Giggity Sports League.
Yep. Thanks. The 20 car trying to get underneath the 24 now as he's battling for second. His teammate Flirt with Disaster following him. Looks like Energy Motorsports is trying to go P1, P2, and P3 in those Toyotas and move the Chevys back in the pack.
I'm going to end up having to have to mute the little birdie in my ear. Something I haven't done in a long time as broadcast on Wednesday nights is put that have that little black box syndrome. But if you see it, I got to mute the one and only Money Mike over here. He is just going ham. But these guys still trying to race for everything they got. Not trying to use up their equipment, but they are. They want these positions. They want their points. They want that win. Everybody trying to get together.
Yep.
4-car pack up here, and Jake Drew is now, he was leading it, he's pushing. These guys are trying to catch the 11 of Country Caliber. Big Dane flirting with Disaster, Crab Legs, and Jake Drew. Jake Drew makes a move on the inside. There's that Chevy Power, that 24. Passes the 38, gets it underneath there, gets to the rear bumper of the 19 of Flirt. These guys, he did that very smooth too. Made the pass, got single file, because again, they know what they got to do. Single file is fast. Fired.
Who? Big Dane? Yeah, he's new. This is first. Well, yeah. Yep. Sure is. You're not wrong. To anybody that was wondering, I'm speaking to Coco. I know that sounds weird because I told him that he's not wrong and he usually is, but that is what just happened.
Country Caliber, he doesn't know if he needs to do what he's got to do right now except for race your race, and when you get your out front like that, do not pay attention to what your review mirror, pay attention to what's out in front of you. You guys have heard me say it. God bless you, Dad. That's something you taught me when I was racing. Realize race the racetrack, not the racers. You focus on that. You'll end up making the mistake that the person in front of you does, and that's only going to cost you. If you don't do that, then you obviously can get around them. That's what Hot Dog Charlie would say, but be smart, be smooth.
Hey, could you look on Blakey's stream and let me know how many laps are remaining?
Yep, my computer died, so I switched over to the feed on my phone, but I can jump on Blakey's right there also. No problem, no harm, no foul in that situation. These guys still trying to catch that 11.
Yeah, watching the 20 and the 19 pull away, there's a pretty good gap between them and Jake there for sitting in fourth, as he and Crableg right now are side by side. I'm really interested right now. I know that the team captain for the Mopower Motorsports,
12 to go. These guys will be coming to 11.
Yeah, Dylan usually is in the chat with these guys talking them through the race, so I'm really surprised to see Country out there. While both Flirt and Big Dane, neither one of them have a race win. Flirt strongly inside the top 10, but Big Dane definitely needs this win. I'm really surprised to not see the 11 possibly back up, get the 20 back out in front, and maybe push him, as, again, we're down to just 3 races remaining before the playoffs. This is huge for that 20 car right now, as there's not much time left for him to try to point his way into the top 10.
No, we've always talked about it too, where the most dominant car is not always the winner, and something I try to do with my team too on can't do it on Wednesdays is I help you guys up here in the broadcast booth. I love being up here, but Mondays and Thursdays for the preset guys, captains are very involved. They're very interactive, helping their guys through, and I know some of these guys, what do I do? What do you think I should do? Captains are a really good big deal here in Captain and Giggity to help these guys out.
Yeah, I know it's really, really hard as a driver to back it off when you have a race won, but at the same time, on the team implications, you just have to know Country's looking at getting second or third regardless.
Yeah.
You really got to know in your head what it's going to take to get that 20 car in the playoffs, because you would have a much better chance having 3 cars in the playoffs than if
you are black boxing me, Mike.
So it would be huge to have that 20 car make the playoffs for Mopower Motorsports.
And by the way, we just talked about it, that black box, you keep seeing that. That is not me. I have not left. That is Mike leaving and coming back, leaving and coming back. So, blame Money Mike for the black box interim tonight. 4 cars back here, Flirt with it, and the Big Dane, like you said, have pulled away from everybody. These guys race a lot with each other. What's going to happen? They should be coming to 9 to go.
Something happened to Duck. He's way back. Adam Troutman way back all by himself. Blakey T all by himself. You got a 4-car battle here for 4th place.
8, excuse me. These guys will be coming. The leader will be taking 7.
So 7 to go here. Yeah, Flirt's right there behind Big Dan. That's what I mean. You have Mopower Motorsports sitting 1, 2, and 3, and realistically, the 11 could back off, get back in this draft, and you're still probably going to finish 1, 2, and 3 as a team. Man, I'm struggling to see this because Flirt is solidly inside the top 10. Country is in the top 3 in points. I don't know how you don't lock that 20 car in. No, Flirt hasn't gotten a win, but he's pretty well inside the top 10 that I don't think he could fall outside of it in points. But Big Dane joining late, he definitely needs to get that win. I think he's too far behind Trout to point his lane. So, interesting strategy here by the teammates, but we'll see how it pans out.
A little bit of something we haven't done for a while. We call this boom vision on our leader. Looking at that lead behind him, smooth. His only worst enemy right now is himself. If he makes a mistake, then he is the one that has credit for that. So be smooth, be smart. But yes, back to the leader. Big Dane and Flirt still, like I said, single file. These guys are friends. They race a lot. They talk a lot. They are slowly but surely 10th in the leader.
Yeah, they're definitely gaining on him. You know, they're drafting. 2 cars is always going to be faster than 1, and you see Crableg back there. He's actually pulled away from the other 3 cars in 4th. I think he's too far away with only, 5 laps to go now to really make a move on either of those cars in front of him. It's going to come down to, does Country take the W, or does he ride around and let his teammate get in there? And second to that, is Flirt happy riding second, or is he going to try to make a move and get around Big Dan?
Well, talking with Flirt last night, so he said he was excited for this track. And, their team, we've seen that in real life too. Implications come from teammates telling you do this, don't do that. But even if he slowed down, I would definitely hinder him. He might slow down too much, but Country wants that W just as bad as Big Dane does.
Oh, yeah. I mean, racer mentality. You don't want to give up the race. I agree 100%. As a driver, the 11 car wants to win this race, especially getting ready to go into the playoffs. He's sitting up there. Whenever you can beat somebody like Jake and you can beat Private Patton and you can get to the victory first, that's so much momentum as you enter into the playoffs. But at the same time, I mean, regardless, your team's going to finish 1, 2, 3. Mopower Motorsports with 2 races to go before the playoffs after tonight. they are setting a huge example of the momentum that they have and how they look at going into these playoff races. You know, the first race of the playoff is a road course at Watkins Glen.
Love it.
Country Caliber won that race. The Sonoma race.
Can't wait to be there.
So, you know, then you have races like Darlington coming up in the playoffs.
Not a fun track. That's where the fun meter goes down.
Probably 2 clicks.
But Big Dane's starting to pull away a little bit from Flirt. I don't know if Flirt might have clipped that apron. Clipping that apron, you know, it will spin you around. So if you do it, you got to back off of that just a little bit. They have gained a little bit, but now it looks like they are staying steady distance with the leader of Country Caliber. Jake DeRue's in 6th, Tackle is in 7th, Blakey T's in 8th, Trout's in 9th, and Pro's in 10th. That's what I see right there. This is the last lap. We are on our back alley bakeries. Giggity Season 5. White flag? Yeah, white flag.
We do not own the rights to Back Alley Bakery, nor do we own the company Back Alley Bakeries. Just FYI.
FYI. And, yeah, I think that was it, guys. Country Caliber brings home the W tonight. Did not back down. Again, Big Dane, most laps led, won both stages, and he comes up the bridesmaid and not the bride tonight.
Great
Country
run,
Caliber, Big Dane, Flirt, Crab in 4th after that mishap, Private Pat in 5th, Jake in 6th, Tackle 7th, Blakey T 8th, A-Trout 9th, and Pro 75 round out your top 10. Just so I don't have to black box real quick, get the one and only Country up here. And yeah, look at on the screen too. Normally when you let you know who wins the stages with a green and white checker flag next to it, Big Dane's he's the only one with one. He won both stages. Again, most dominant car tonight, did not win. Country, Big Dane, and Flirt, your top 3. Krabby, though, came back with a good top 5 finish after that mishap earlier. Private Pat came back strong, too, especially with the little bit of a lag issue. So congratulations to all of these guys tonight. Season is starting to wrap down just a little bit, but mainly what's really wrapping down there, Tatty, is the playoffs are coming up sooner than you think.
Can you try to add him into the chat? Coco? I'm setting up the custom lobby, is why I'm asking.
Speaking of that again, please do not leave, guys. Stay tuned. Look for that notification button coming up. The custom guys are going to be at the same track. We expect to see the same kind of racing we have right there. But the one and only Country Caliber does get the W tonight. In that 11 Toyota. A lot of people don't know that Toyota and Chevrolet are actually in cahoots. Money Mike, glad you... Money Mike. Money Mike. I know you guys can't hear him, but Money Mike. We'll give him just a couple minutes, and if he can't get back up here again, thank you for what you're doing tonight, Money Mike, to help expand Giggity. Thank you to KTatty, all the administrators, and everybody over the years that have helped got this going. You know, it hasn't been around but more than 2 years, and now it's expanding into everything else. And now we're trying to get a little bit more virtual on social media, so thank you guys very much. If Country can't get up here, we do understand for that. We do got to get ready for the custom race coming up, where we will see the one and only unheard of tonight from you guys. Coco, Money Mike, Tatty will be racing tonight also.
Yep. I'll be there. Yep.
All right, guys. Well, on that note, we've again been Country just a couple minutes, so well, maybe a minute, but oh, yeah. Money Mike's fired. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for the custom race. For everybody up here in the booth and everybody, Giggity Season 5. I am the Puddin' on a Wednesday night. KTatty always helping me with the preset race. Good luck to the custom guys. We will see you guys shortly.